Hello, hello. I want to welcome everyone and thank you for tuning in to Conservative Free Spirit. I appreciate you stopping by, and this video resonates with whoever is watching it for the time period that you're actually watching the video, excuse me. So I want to acknowledge the moon card. This is prime opportune time to be listening to your intuition, um, to be meditating and sitting with yourself, questioning yourself, getting to know if you're making the right decisions. I've never felt this way before. I've never heard that thought before or thought that thought before. Did I just read somebody's mind? Did I just have deja vu? Did I just have a premonition? Did I just think about someone and they called? Or did I just listen to my intuition and it told me to stop and I ended up stopping and I was obedient to my intuition? And this is the way the cards were laying sideways. Normally, upright, the moon card is here. But a lot of you may be in questioning. You may be in limbo. Some of you may have thought you knew what you knew that you knew, and then maybe something happened to make you second guess it. A lot of you may be new to the way that you're feeling and thinking. And that might be a little bit unstabilizing for you. But that's okay. So this is just an introduction. So let's pull some cards. As I stated, this is a new channel, so we'll be trying some things, taking some things away. I'll be learning what's the best angle for my camera, what feels better, what feels the best, how to lay my cards. So there will be a lot of trial and error. And I also feel like this will be the energy that will be surrounding a lot of you. A lot of trial and error. Wondering if this is the right way to go, if this is the right thing to do. Is this new thing something I want to consider? Is it going to be okay for me? Am I really going to like it? No, on second thought, I think I may switch it up. I may change it. This may have a lot to do with Uranus and Taurus at this time. A lot of you may be aware that Taurus is about stability. Uranus is about rebellion. So a lot of what you were certain of at one point in time in your life, at this point, you may no longer be certain of. You may be second guessing everything, even the way that you breathe, the way that you walk, the way that you stand, the way that you sit. A lot of fundamentals that have worked in your life up until now, and they probably worked well, or they probably worked good enough for you to get by. And at this point in your life, Uranus is saying, okay, you've had, so much amount of time to either make that work or to get acclimated with that. We're done with that. We're scrapping that. So there may be a lot of trial and error in your life as well, as far as how you're feeling. A lot of you may, as I stated, be trying on new shoes, if you will. Wondering what role fits best for you. If you have been an immature, quote unquote, immature lover, you may be deciding at this point in your life that, it's time that I grow up. It's time that I mature and consider what it would be like to be with one individual. Or maybe decreasing the number of individuals. Maybe now you're playing process of elimination. A lot of you may be trying to see if going back to school works, if this job still works. Maybe I want to be in middle management or upper management now. Maybe I no longer want to be a doctor. I may want to be a nurse now. I don't even know if that's possible. But a lot of you may be stepping down from a lot of high and prestigious positions and kind of going back to basics, kind of pounding the pavement a little bit, if you will. Seeing if this is the career change or this is the life change. And I don't feel like it's a panic, even though we have the Page of Wands that came out. I don't feel like it's a panic. I feel like a lot of you may be forced to be in change right now, or a lot of you may be deciding, you know what, I'm not getting any younger. It's time for me to try what it is that I really have wanted to try for a long time, or as recent as yesterday, or maybe I can do it. A lot of you may be aware of some new addictions or maybe even obstacles. With this trial and error energy that's kind of going on, a lot of you may feel like a lot of people are blocking you, or a lot of you may feel like you're being hindered. Or a lot of you may feel like this old addiction no longer is serving me, and you may just end up just automatically stopping whatever your addiction is. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, whatever that may be. A lot of you may just simply discontinue whatever that addiction that took you so long to stop. And a lot of you may be picking up new addictions that you may not even be aware of or would even consider to be an addiction. So just keep that in mind. Be mindful of what you're participating in and what you're saying yes to and what you have been saying yes to, because that may be a subconscious or an unconscious habit or interaction that has now turned into an addiction right before your eyes and you didn't even notice it. As well, a lot of you may be feeling like you're encountering a lot of people who are standing in your way. A lot of people who are maybe not for you at this time. And a lot of you may be a little bit leery of a lot of people who are saying yes to you. So it might be, once again, that trial and error. You may not quite know who's real and who's fake at this time with this Devil card coming up. The world is changing. The atmosphere is changing. Your thoughts are changing. A lot of you A lot of you might be getting drugged by a lot of these changes that are occurring, and drugged as in like drugged in the streets, drugged in the ground. You may be kicking and screaming because you don't quite understand what's going on with myself, my body, what's going on with my lover or my children or my job, or my family or my friends. This is a time of um of chaos, of breaking loose. And I certainly advise you that in this moment to kind of go in hermit mode, and whoever is standing after the smoke clears, that may be the person that you need to interact with, especially so that you can get your bearings, especially since a lot of you are not trusting a lot of people, what a lot of people say and what a lot of people do. Um, for those of you who are okay with this change that is occurring in the atmosphere, in the ethers, I see you leaving a lot behind just very nonchalantly, just not worried about it. Like, oh, well, it didn't work out. Oh, well, I didn't get the job. Oh, well, I wrecked my car. I don't know where that came from. I hope nobody is wrecking their car, but that certainly did come up. And that's the energy that I'm feeling with the World card. Just a lot of change in the atmosphere that a lot of you may not really be receptive to. And you're kind of getting drugged. Once again, a lot of you may not just really be open to what the universe is telling you or giving you or making you feel at this time. A lot of what you're thinking, feeling, seeing may be very strange, may be very foreign to you, and a lot of you are just not having it. Some of you are having some people who are approaching you kind of in the way that you've always dreamed for them to approach you, or even in the way that is more respectful, and you don't know how to receive that. But others of you are receiving opportunities that you can't believe are being presented to you, and you still don't know how to perceive it or receive it. And of course, for others of you, there are you who are taking in all of the opportunities that you possibly can get your hand on, and maybe now you've become a little bit maybe overwhelmed, and now you're sorting through, okay, what's the best thing for me to do? Who's the the best person for me to communicate with? Where's the best place for me to go out of all the options that you do have? You're saying, okay, universe, okay, career, okay, love, okay, family, friends, finances, okay, spirit, my cup runneth over. I don't want anything else. But be careful of that. Make sure you're not being greedy. For those of you who are really seeing the pot of gold at the end of this rainbow, make sure you're not being greedy, that you're not just accepting anything that's being given to you, and make sure that you're not rejecting a lot of wonderful opportunities that could be beneficial to you. I know that's challenging to do, because how do you know what is beneficial for me and what is not? Go within. That's the best thing I can tell you. Trust yourself. Don't go to the gardener to learn how to fix your car. So even if you are not at the point where you can just trust your intuition, where you can just trust your spirit of discernment, if you are seeking counsel and seeking advice, make sure you're going to the financial advisor in regards to your finances. Make sure that you are going to the spiritual healer in regards to, spiritual things. Make sure that you are going to the person who is an expertise in their field. So that way, if you are relying on something that's external to you, you can at least get the best advice that's possible. And I got all of that out of this Four of Cups. Okay. I feel a lot of you are kind of biting your words, kind of holding a lot in, really trying to be politically correct. I'm going to tell you that if you are not addressing situations as they occur, you really run the chance of exploding during this time. And what is this time? This moment that you're watching this video, whether it's right now, years from now, weeks from now, you're really running the risk of exploding, really being harsh with people if you are not addressing things that are hitting your nerves in the moment. A lot of you are trying to be, as I said, politically correct, or a little bit softer or conservative with your words. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Some may disagree, but I certainly believe that you need to address what is happening when it happens. That moment that you feel your blood pressure rising, or wait a minute, did they just say this? Or wait a minute, did they just do this? I'm not saying cuss anybody out. I'm not saying kill anybody or fight anybody or any of that. I'm saying address it. Why did you say that? When you say those types of things, it makes me feel this way. Could you please not do this? Can you give me some clarification? I was never told to do it or to see it that way. So can you help me out so I can better understand your point of view? Being diplomatic about it, being courteous about it, but certainly addressing it as it occurs. And I feel like a lot of you with all of this, I want to say catatonic energy, but it's really not that extreme. But with all of this change that is occurring in the atmosphere right now, a lot of this redirection and rearrangement that is occurring at the moment, you're really going to be successful. And I'm not just saying that as in like the light at the end of the tunnel. This energy, this change, this shift is really meant for you to be successful. This Uranus in Taurus, this new moon in Taurus, and you slowing down and being mindful of where you're going and who you're talking to and what did they say and what did they have on and how did we do those steps again. And I think you're really gonna be prepared to move forward into that very conversational, wispy energy that Gemini is going to provide us. This Uranus and Taurus, when we move to Gemini season, this Uranus and Taurus energy, and just overall, is really being put into place to make you successful. A lot of you have been complaining about the type of work you do. Is this really what I want to go to school for? Do I want to go to school? Do I really want to be with this person? Do I really feel this way? Do I really think this way? Do I really believe this? I kind of feel like this Uranus and Taurus energy for the next 7 or so years is gonna be like a big giant Mercury retrograde. Um, but more so in action, more so in spirituality, yes, in communication as well. But it's gonna be mental, it's gonna make you think, it's gonna make you see options and possibilities that were not there before. And a lot of you already know the answers to the questions that you've been asking. Is this the right relationship? Is this the right place to move? Is this the right person for me? How do I really feel about myself? How do I really, feel about this job? Should I be here? Should I leave? Should I try something new? A lot of you already know the answers to that question, because otherwise you probably wouldn't be asking it in the way that you're asking it. So just be prepared when a lot of things just come to a complete halt, when they get snatched out of your hand, when they get discontinued. I really feel like this is the energy of you not being able to go back. Like that door that you just walked through, when you entered this energy slowly but surely, this phase of your life, I feel like you can't even go back. Why? Not because it's not the right thing to do, but because the door doesn't even exist anymore. So you have no option but to embrace what's happening or get drugged in the midst of what's happening. But just keep in mind that this energy right now is designed for you to be successful, not for you to fail. Don't think of it as, oh my God, this is changing, this is moving, especially for my fixed zodiac signs. I know for a lot of you this may be a challenge. But yeah, just consider it.